Hello and welcome to the Academy. On this episode today, we're still with our very own Miss Ruth Obi, who is the CEO and founder of 3Invest Limited.
Having an investment in real estate is invaluable, obviously, because you're never going to lose your money, depending on how you bought. The government owes us, rights as citizens to have our own homes. As an entrepreneur, you can never have a downtime, okay? In as much as the economy is down.
Access to funds has been something that many entrepreneurs say that they've always had issue with. So I'm going to ask you how you were able to pull through in terms of capital, and then what bank do you bank with?
I'm not endorsing anyone.
Okay, all right.
Okay, well, we have a couple of banks we use. Of course, Diamond Bank supports us. Diamond Bank has been our bank for a while. They support entrepreneurs, young people. But we have run a business without funds. We don't have no equity or debt, okay? That's the strategy of the business. The strategy actually was for us to devise resources that can generate a good cash flow. I mean, we don't have so much, but the business is getting to a point whereby we might be actually talking to, a funder, whether equity or debt in the future, in the very near future, because I mean, we have to expand the business. Being 7 years, we have to be, we're trying to reach our 10 years goal in the next 3 years. So yes, we might be accessing funds, but at that time, you should see that we've already built the credibility that shouldn't even be so difficult for us to do that. But initially, I know I thought about maybe getting 1 or 2 loans there, but I was just so discouraged because I've had bad experience by family, friends who have, gotten. So I wasn't that much educated about funding and finance. I don't have a financial manager, controller, or anything. So I think I'll need one. I need an advice before I can proceed, because I don't want to get stuck with loans and I can't pay. So, so I think it's easier right now because, I mean, there are a lot of SME banks. I think Fidelity Bank is an SME bank. I know that the one on the world recently, that's how I notified that, how I noticed that they are there as well. So quite a number of banks are supporting entrepreneurs, young businesses, SMEs, and microfinance banks, and all those. So as a business person, my advice would be to also have, guarantee your funds before you go into business, because for anyone to give you credit, you have to be credible. So you have to build credibility in any way. So even if it's by your brand or any way, you have to build credibility. And there are also businesses that are self-start. My business is a self-start. So I didn't need to have money to really start my business. So it depends on the business strategy and model. Yeah, but ours didn't really need to have so much money to start.
All right. For the launching of the African Women in Real Estate, are there opportunities available to those that are not necessarily don't have a background in real estate but want to come into the industry?
Of course. I was talking to my keynote address speaker when I think Mrs. Udo Okonjo is going to keynote the conference. And when we had the discussion last week, we were like, we're actually looking for young participation. It's not really just open to, top or, big or established women. Those established women real estate are actually supposed to be some kind of mentors to the younger people. So actually, we're looking for young girls, young women, students who actually want to be, students who are in estate management, who study real estate, who wants to know what they can do, how they can assess, and there are supports that you can get from these already established women in real estate. So I feel that it's much needed. And yes, it's going to happen on the 3rd of October.
All right. I must say it's really been interesting that you were not actually in the real estate sector. I mean, you studied law and then eventually you ventured in and then you're making
It's not venturing. The truth of the matter is, as a lawyer, the reason law was actually, brought out in the history of law is because of dispute between lands and family. So real estate is part of law. I end up my 2 years practice as a lawyer. I drafted leases, contracts, property there. So it's nothing different from what we do. So for every transaction, in every real estate transaction you do, you must need a lawyer, either an advice or any way of drafting the leases or the contracts. So yes, as a lawyer, it's quite an advantage to be in the real estate space.
Okay, so can we say you're practicing?
Law practice is different.
Okay,
yes,
all right. So you've been in this industry for almost 7 years. What challenges can you say the industry is facing, and how do you think this can be overcome?
Well, the industry's challenge basically has always been policy. When it comes to the land ownership system in Nigeria, and obviously finance. But what we've done is, at this year's event, we looked at these challenges and we're able to raise 4 major issues. And that's what gave about the theme called Igniting the Fire. The fire actually means F for finance, I for infrastructure, R for ratepapism, and E for education. So these 4 issues are actually the issues that the real estate industry is currently facing. So when you look at finance, it's a big issue. Getting access to finance is quite expensive, the duration and the rest of that. But I believe there are a lot of efforts towards doing, solving that issue. We look at infrastructure investing, which is where also healthcare real estate comes in, building bridges, roads, and the rest of that. Because for you to have a good real estate, you have to have good infrastructure. Of course, you can see the power is now actually getting better. If Nigerian power situation would stabilize, we have the best economy ever in the history of this world. So with that much deficit in power that we have, you can imagine how we're doing, and imagine when we have power, what would happen. So that would be sorted. Then with ratepapism, a lot of bureaucracy in procedures, in actually trying to register, perfecting titling, everything to do with land titling, and also the Land Use Act, doesn't allow for a lot of things. So a lot of submissions have been made for amendment of this act, and which will help also when this is done. Of course, we're going to have a better and a shorter procedural period for land titling or perfection of procedures of land. Then finally, the education. We believe education is much needed, which is, as True Invest, our advocacy tool is actually for education. We believe that an educated person is everything in the world, because if you're not educated, the educated ones will take over the world. So we believe that education sometimes doesn't have to be going to school. The education is also educating people, doing things that will make them be aware of things that they need to do. I mean, I was happy when this Ebola thing happened, as the much interest that our government put in educating the public. The driver that picked me up from the airport the day I came back from the UK was like, oh, he was actually, let me say, mirandizing me to tell me, madam, you need to wash your hand, you need to do this. So you can see the education. So if that is much needed in order to get all this interest out there to everyone, trust me, we have a fantastic economy. There's no better place I want to be like, or investing or working or do anything but Nigeria. I believe we have the demographics, we have the right people. We just need to push ourselves more.
Okay. All right. Now you're into real estate and you've been able to move into other sectors like media. What opportunities are available for entrepreneurs, as well as especially women in this sector?
There are a lot of opportunities for women in this sector. Like I said, being part of real estate, we African women in real estate will actually help you learn more about what you need to do. But I mean, if you look at in the women in the design space, there are a lot of women in design, interior designers and the rest of that. There are a lot of women in developers. There are women in the service part of it, facility management, taking care of homes. I believe most of the things that have to do with homes actually is a woman's job. So even starting from where to buy, location, land and everything. So a woman plays a very great role when it comes to real estate or home ownership. So I believe there are a lot of opportunities. It's just to find your passion, to know what you like to do. Don't copy. I mean, a lot of people, plagiarize. A lot of people like to do what other people are doing. If you do what someone else does, it only takes a little time, you get tired, because that person is being fueled by a different passion than you. So I believe it's to find out where your passion lies, and that would help you.
All right, you're into the real estate sector, and then you studied law. Didn't you need any formal training on real estate to actually go into the business?
Well, like I said, you can get training. As a lawyer, first of all, if you want to register in any real estate management or any, let's say they have NEISV or RICS, professionally you're allowed, because you're a lawyer. With a lawyer, you know most of the things to do with real estate, yes. Because part of yes, you study land laws and the rest of that, and all those conveyancing and all the rest of that teaches you how to do real estate business. So real estate business has more of legal stuff to do than other things to do, which is, even from construction, you need a lawyer to advise you to do your, packaging, a lot of things. And so it's not a terrain that is new to a lawyer. You would ask this question to a doctor, and it's like, I had to switch. But with a lawyer, it's not a difficult switch. It's not, so it's really part of law. Yeah.
Finally, what's next for True Invest?
Well, I won't tell.
If if you need further information on real estate sector, or you also want to get more information on investments in this sector, you contact us at the academy at webtvng.com. Also, don't forget that there's something in you that costs the world to celebrate, and the best time to start is now. Till next week on the academy, thank you very much for watching.